year to athletes attending St. Clair County Community College. The name of the award is named after one of our board members, Coach John Herring. It's the John Herring Scholarship Memorial Award. Great guy and a legend in this community. The first recipient, neither of whom are here tonight, they're out involved in their respective sport. The first is Cassidy Kuznicki. Cassidy was a member of both the women's basketball team and softball teams in 2017, 2018. In high school, she earned MAC All-Academic Honors in golf, basketball, and softball. Pretty cool. Second recipient, Bryce Reeves. Bryce excelled in basketball and baseball at Fort Worth Northern. In baseball, he earned honorable mention in the All-Macomb Area Conference Blue Division Honors in 2017 and 2018. In basketball, he was a three-time member of the MAC All-Academic Team. Pretty neat. Good catch for St. Clair County Community College. They have both those athletes, and we are blessed to be able to provide them scholarships. So congratulations to those two athletes. Achievement Awards. The Fort Worth Sports Hall of Fame is privileged to recognize athletes who are still active in their respective sport, but who have attained goals worthy of recognition. We have 9 people in one team to recognize tonight as Achievement Award winners. The first is Justin Badley. He's a 2017 Marysville grad, a freshman bowler on the SC4 men's first-year bowling team. He earned a trip to the NJCAA Nationals, where he finished 6th overall with All-American honors. Justin Badley, I don't know if he's here or not.
Good job, man.
The second individual achievement award goes to Nick Bailey, a 2018 Fort Worth High graduate. Nick shot 74 as a medalist and became a medalist at the Michigan High School State Athletic Association Division I Regional to qualify for state finals. He shot 73 and 82 in the finals. He's a member of the Saginaw Valley State University golf team, but unable to attend tonight because of a match today at Wayne State. Nick Bailey. Jose Gans. Jose rolled this is incredible. Jose rolled 7 300 games this past season. He had 2 perfect games back to back during one league tournament. Jose Gans. And by the way, in addition to receiving a framed certificate, all of our achievement awards have their names on a plaque right around the corner next to the induction plaques. They're already posted, so the achievement award winners can see their names up on their respective plaques. Number 4, my good friend Steve Camadoy, a 1975 K-PAC graduate, courtyard hockey referee, was selected 2017-2018 Michigan Amateur Hockey Association Referee of the Year. It's called the Lowell McCoy Memorial Award. He's been officiating hockey throughout the Blue Water area for 27 years. Currently, he's serving as Michigan Officiating Seminar Coordinator. Steve Camadoy. Next Achievement Award recipient, Matt Langoff. Matt became only the second bowler in Courtyard Bowling Association history to reach at least 5 award series in one season. He finished with the highest average in the association at 239. Matt Langoff. You go, Matt. Next Achievement Award goes to Grant Moore. This Courtyard Northern sailor enjoyed quite a successful summer on the water. Grant was a double winner as he was a crew member of the Rowdy, which took first place in the Courtyard to Mackinac sailboat race. And a week later, aboard the Fast Tango, that won the Chicago Mackinac sailboat race. And he's also sailed with Fun Uncle Sailing Team, which won the S2 7.9 Class Association Championship Regatta last month in Lake Erie. Great work.
I would just like to thank the board and everyone involved in the 49 Sports Hall of Fame. It is super exciting to be able to get recognized for something that I enjoy doing a lot, and we were able to have some success in this year. And I look out here and see a bunch of people that all supported us, and it's super cool to see the sport getting recognized in our maritime community. So congratulations to all of you, and thank you.
Next Achievement Award winner, Melissa Orr-Scola, a Courtyard Northern graduate. She was a former Courtyard figure skater turned women's hockey official. And if any of you watched the Olympics, the Winter Olympics, she officiated women's hockey in the winter of this past Winter Olympics. Melissa.
Thank you guys so much. I can't tell you how much of an honor it is to be recognized here in my hometown. Congratulations to you guys, and I hope you guys have a wonderful night. Thank you so much.
Next Achievement Award. I mean, these athletes are incredible. These kids are still in their respective sport. It's amazing what they've accomplished so far. The next Achievement Award, Avery Shell, 2018 Courtyard Northern. Avery took 7th place in pole vault at Michigan High School Athletic Division 1 state meet this past spring with a jump of 11 feet 3 inches. She's a member of the Grand Valley State University track and field team this year. Is Avery here? Our next Achievement Award winner is Jacob Truscott, who I know is here tonight because he's playing hockey in Minnesota. His parents will come up and receive the certificate on his behalf. He's a 16-year-old, the youngest of 4 children, who started skating at age 3. He's currently playing for the USA National Development Team out of Plymouth, Michigan. Prior to that, Jacob played for the Little Caesars team coached by Chris Draper. Jacob also played for the Port Huron Flags, where he was one of the leading scorers on defense. Jacob has received 3 Silver Stick All-Star Awards and 4 state championships while playing for Little Caesars. He's been offered a full-ride scholarship to U of M. Accepting the award on behalf of Jacob are his parents, Lori and Bill Truscott.
I'm not good at this at all, but Jacob would like to say thank you to everybody. Phenomenal coaching by Rob King from the area. His best moment here was winning Silver Sticks 2015 in his hometown. And to win it here, being a local, is just unreal for everyone, the whole family. So thank you. He was very proud of this. He would love to be here, but yeah. He won his game today, so we're good.
Okay, last but not least, the Cruel of the Rowdy, skippered by Val Asaf and Val Csaf. They won the P8 Port Huron RFG Level 35 class of 2018 debut Port Huron to Mackinac race. It's quite a mouthful. The crew consisted of Tyson Conley, Eric Schwanz, Max Schwanz, Officer Jim Cole III, Jason Nicolaya, Tom Peaslip, and Grant Moore. Longtime crew Rowdy members, Jimmy Schiller and Joe Bangle also assisted in the victory. The 2000 race proved to be one of the slowest, but one of the most challenging in Mackinac history. A combination of exceptional crew work and excellent tactical decisions making resulted in the Rowdy leading her class from start to finish. At the Cove Island buoy, Rowdy had sailed into a commanding 15-mile lead. In the final stages, the race crew fought through adverse weather conditions to hold off their competitors. The Crew of the Rowdy.
I guess the ballot was rigged. I don't know. But thank you very much, committee, and it's been an honor to be a part of it this year. And these guys right here, it was the best Mackinac race I've ever done, and I've done 28 of them. These guys did it. It was great crew work. So thank you very much, Ron.
Okay, we have one more award to present before introducing our featured speaker. It's called the Wilford Malloy Award. And it pays tribute to that individual who's contributed to the sports environment, not necessarily on the field of friendly competition, but in a manner deserving special recognition. The award honors Wilford C. Malloy, one of the founders of the Port Huron Sports Hall of Fame. This year's award will be presented by my Vice Chair, Jim Bennett.
First of all, I'd like to congratulate all the inductees this evening. Tremendous job by all of you to get up on this table. And Brian, thank you very much under trying circumstances, you and your family for participating. We appreciate it. Thank you. I promised a couple people in back that I would not blow the 8 for too long. For those of you that don't know what that means, Google it. This is quite an honor for me tonight to present the Wilfred C. Malloy Award. It's going to Paul Jones, Sr. It's a long overdue award, and I know his family, who are all here tonight, Mrs. Jones, we're so proud of you. And congratulations. Mr. Jones was a long-time sponsor and contributor to the Port Huron Hockey Association during the 80s, which we consider the heyday of hockey in Port Huron. I'd like to first, before I start going into length, point out Pete Lacey and give you a hats off, Pete, for the building that you put together, and with you and all your co-workers at college. Well done. Well done. But for a lot of us in this building, I'm in the stand behind the visitors bench. And a lot of our memories are in this building. And it's one of the reasons I wanted to give this award to him. Mr. Jones was initially from Kentucky, or born in Kentucky, I believe, migrated to Kansas. Moved to Port Huron along with his beautiful wife, Carol. Has anyone told you how wonderful you look tonight, Mrs. Jones? And started a business, a successful businessman here in Port Huron. But along the way, his boys wanted to play hockey. And he looked at it and he wanted to be a contributing factor to that. So he started the Jones Boys, which was just a group of young kids that needed somebody to sponsor them. Then he became one of the biggest sponsors in town. On a Sunday in Port Huron, there was nowhere else you would be if you were a hockey person but here in this arena. Sunday at the junior arena was religion. Started with the house league, it went to all of the travel teams. We were a major and minor operation. If you were good enough to play AAA, you went to Detroit. But most of our kids didn't go to Detroit. They stayed here and played for our teams, which led to a lot of state championships and our fair share of silver sticks. Started in the morning with arena sports. Then when the Star Oilers would come out, and then the Socorro Flyers, and it would culminate at the end of the evening with the Jayhawks, the Port Huron Jayhawks. Iconic. In fact, I'm a little disappointed in one of the Jones boys not wearing a Jayhawk jersey. But after becoming their sponsor, they went on to win a silver stick here in Port Huron and 3 state championships. And it was an iconic team. If you played for the Jayhawks, you were a someone. And that was because of Paul Jones. So on behalf of our board of directors, we'd like to say thank you, a long overdue thank you to the Jones family and Mrs. Jones, you in particular. And accepting the award will be Paul Jones IV.
Thank you very much, Jim. On behalf of the whole Jones family, my brothers John, Chris, and Jamie, and my sisters Celia and Gina, and our mother Carol, we are honored to accept this award for our dad and her husband. It was a special time, as Jim said. Over the 70s and the 80s, we had a blast. We spent probably a good deal of about 20 years in this building. And we won some and we lost some, but we always had a good time. And it's especially enjoyable here tonight to be among hockey royalty. I look out here and I just can't believe all the hockey players that are here tonight. It's wonderful. It's especially wonderful for our family that not only my dad is going in, but our brother John. That's fabulous. Anyway, thanks to the committee. I think the biggest thing that we took away from this whole experience, and I'm so glad I get it, are the lifelong relationships that we have developed, all because of youth sports. But hockey in general, it's just, I don't know what it is about the hockey people, but it's just a wonderful experience, and I'm so glad I was a small part of it. Thank you very much.
Just a couple more people we want to recognize tonight before introducing our keynote speaker. We want to recognize our caterer tonight, who with her staff provided an absolutely phenomenal meal, and that's Denise Gordon. And tonight's cash bar is provided by two of the nicest guys I know from Wolverine, Andy Bako and his son Nate. Owners of the Wolverine Market. Okay, time for the keynote speaker. A 2005 inductee into the Port Huron Sports Hall of Fame. Dr. Brad Bates was one of 4 children of Jim and Barbara Bates, a Port Huron Northern graduate. Brad was a walk-on defensive back at the University of Michigan, where his dad Jim started as a linebacker. Brad earned a football scholarship playing for the legendary coach Bo Schembechler. Brad earned a master's degree in education and attained his doctorate in education at Vanderbilt University. Brad has served on the faculty and as an athletic director at both Miami University and Boston College. That's a big deal. Currently, Brad is Vice President of Consulting with the Collegiate Sports Association and a member of the faculty at the University of North Carolina. Brad and his wife, Michelle, reside in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Brad's father, the legendary Port Huron Northern football coach, Jim Bates, passed away just this past week. Coach Jim Bates was inducted to the Port Huron Sports Hall of Fame in 1990. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to Dr. Brad Bates.
Ron, thank you very much. It really is an honor to be here this evening. And when I got the call from Coach Baker to invite me to speak, I was really honored with the privilege to be here and join all of you and be in my hometown. And now you also know who to blame for the next 10 to 12 minutes, Coach Baker. Many of you heard that we lost my father this week. One of the great privileges of my life was to join my father in this Hall of Fame. And I'll be eternally grateful to the board for that honor. My father loved this area and thoroughly believed in the power of athletics as a positive and strong influence on our children and citizens. My family's here tonight, and because I have the microphone and I can embarrass them, I'm going to ask them to stand. Plus, I want to make sure they're not subtly watching the Michigan game on their phones. My mother, my sister Jenny, my brother-in-law Robert, my nephew Thomas, and my brother Joel. Stand up. So compared to today's inductees, my career took a while to get going. Yet Josh, you'll be impressed. I actually led the Big Ten in interceptions. During my junior year, the first game of the 1979 season, Michigan was beating Northwestern 49-7. And with 3 minutes to go in the game, the call came down from the press box from my position coach, Jack Harbaugh. yes, Jim and John's father, that I was going into the game. And now you know the point spread comfort level of Bo Schembeckler putting Bates into the game. 42 points. And on the final play, down 42, Northwestern threw a Hail Mary, and among a half a dozen other players, I somehow came down with the ball. And because it was the first week of the season, the next day in our team meeting, Coach Hartwell pointed out that I was tied for first in interceptions in the Big Ten Conference. It lasted 1 week. Congratulations to the inductees. Your accomplishments are inspiring to all of us. You represent Huskies, Big Reds, Jaguars, Gophers, Broncos, and Sherry, we should even fear a turtle. I'm always impressed at such events by how meaningful the induction is to the honorees, and it's been fun talking with them up here tonight. Their unassuming gratitude as they humbly acknowledge that these honors, while individually recognized, are really an extended tribute to those with whom they've played, developed, and achieved. Clearly, our Hall of Fame contains pictures of individuals, but those individual pictures represent literally hundreds of teammates, competitors, and coaches who have elevated the standards by which future generations will strive to be measured. Think about this. The United States is one of the few countries in the world that combine our sports with our education systems. In most countries, they separate the two. And quite honestly, I can make a pretty compelling argument that separating the two is a better model. There's no compromised admissions, no compromised rigor of curricula, no diluted consequences for bad behavior. If you want to get a degree and play sports in most countries, you got to figure that out and work it out on your own. The institutions don't have any situations or contexts of compromise. So let me tell you a story. On October 25th, 2013, the Boston College hockey team traveled to the University of Minnesota to play Josh's Golden Gophers. The year before, Minnesota had beaten us 7-2, just whipped us. And this was part of the Hockey East Big Ten Challenge. So it was a made-for-TV event. And Hockey East had several teams playing, Big Ten teams, on that particular evening. And because it was made for TV, they wanted a champion. They wanted to know which conference was better. And so television got a waiver from the NCAA to do something that is rare in college hockey, to have a shootout. And so if any of the games at the end of overtime were still tied, the game would go into a shootout. Well, of course, at the end of regulation, BC and Minnesota are tied. At the end of overtime, the game's still tied. We're going to a shootout. The shootout is so rare that our head coach, Jerry York, who was the winningest coach in the history of college hockey, didn't even know that there was a shootout until the afternoon of the game. So he submitted the 3 names ahead of time, as did Minnesota. And we were loaded with offensive talent that year, including a couple guys, one named Hayes, who's playing for the Rangers, he was a first-round draft pick, and another guy named Johnny Hockey Goudreau, who's playing for Calgary. Guys you would put in your first 3 at the shootout. Well, let me tell you about another guy. His name was Patrick Brown. Patrick is the son of a former Red Wing. Grew up in the Detroit area, not heavily recruited. In fact, he was a walk-on at Boston College. 4 years later, he earns a scholarship. He's the team captain, which tells you a lot about how he was respected by his teammates and his coaches. Patrick would be the first person to tell you he only had one move offensively. And on that team, he probably shouldn't be in the top 10 to be in the shootout. And yet, as the first guy skates out from BC, Patrick's standing on the bench, hands on the boards, and he looks up at Jared, and he looks at the ice. Doesn't say a word. Looks up at Jared, and he looks at the ice. he wants the puck. He wants to have the chance to win the game for Boston College. Imagine staring national public failure in the eye and wanting the puck. And so the first three guys go out for both teams. The game's still tied. Jerry sends out a fourth guy. Minnesota sends out a fourth. Still tied. Assistant coach of BC says to Jerry, who do you want to send next? Patrick looks up at Jerry. He looks at the ice. Jerry says, put the captain in. Patrick may only have one move. It's a pretty good move. He ends up scoring the winning goal that night. When done right, in the hands of a talented coach who's in it for noble reasons, sports teach participants to want the puck in life. It transcends athletics into whatever future endeavors that athletes want to engage. And that's what makes this community sporting endeavor so special, and the leadership of the Port Huron Sports Hall of Fame Board of Directors so important. No matter where I've lived, I've always called proudly Port Huron my home. All of us stand before you as products of this great community. In many ways, we are symbols of the way you invest in your children. The result of your schools, your youth leagues, your resources, your time, words, policies, and actions. Your fingerprints can be seen throughout our lives. I absolutely adore this area. As with the inductees, my career has afforded me the luxury to literally travel throughout the world and see the educational, community, and sport resources within various communities. The Blue Water area compares favorably with any of them. And there are numerous resources of which we all took advantage as children. From the gorgeous beaches and waterfronts preserved for all to enjoy and not exclusive to the affluent, to magnificent parks that offer resources for tennis, basketball, baseball, jogging, softball, biking, and swimming. A local community college filling a much-needed niche for all of us. Committed local merchants who sponsor youth organizations that provide children the means to discover, grow, and develop. 50 years later, I still remember Ogden Muffet sponsored my Little League baseball team. And quality public schools providing the opportunity to intellectually grow as much as we care to grow, and then some. From the official but unauthorized float down, to the annual polar bear plunge, from boat night to beach wrestling and volleyball, from Lighthouse Beach to Lakeside Park, to Silver Sticks, from international marathons to the Blue Water Festival and Robinson Tournament, from McMorran Arena to Memorial Stadium, from a community with dedicated leaders encompassing a variety of professions, many of you here tonight, to the most gorgeous natural waterfront I've ever seen. What an extraordinary place. And that's what makes tonight's event so special. Sports are an investment in our future leadership through a diversity of athletic opportunities that expand our worldview. Sports teach participants to make today better than yesterday and make tomorrow better than today. I am extraordinarily honored to be here tonight and share this microphone with such distinguished people. Thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of the program.